like The Last of Us Part 2. I do. I enjoy playing it. The only thing that makes me pissed is the direction and the way that they chose to handle how the story plays out. Again, I've said it in the first part, the way Joel's death is handled, it's not that he dies that's a problem, it's where he dies, how he dies, when, and how we as a player are forced to now to mourn that death in a way that doesn't feel natural for us. These are some, we're starting off a little rough here. There's some heavy grunts. Heavy grunts. Sexual content. Should have put that in the string title. Bro, he just came so hard. Oh my God, he just...
Knowing what was going to happen and knowing how it was.
I would love to hear Troy do the Joel voice, just so that way I can hear that transition of his regular voice to like a character. It's so fucking cool.
Don't do this, please. Don't do this. Don't do this. Don't do this. Don't do this, please, God, no.
Gotta be careful, man. This is not a doll. This is a real human. Like, really, this is what I love. He's like, they're selling this shit. You know, like they're selling this game. Look at this shit. Like, he is on the ground. My man is on the ground. This is the Sarah actor. Love her to death. Fucking soldier just made the biggest mistake of his life. Or no, unless that's Tommy. Never mind. But like, you know, like he barely picks her up. I love this, like, barely picking her up. This true devastation. Troy Baker is a fucking... He's dope, man. Like, listen to that. Like, close your eyes and tell me this is not someone grieving, dude. I'm gonna close my eyes. Do this, please, God, no. Oh, God, like, Jesus, let it out, bro. Let it out, you know?
Joel Miller.
Who are you?
Guess.
Bitch, how am I supposed to know who you are? Like, this is what makes me mad. Because what do you mean guess? Like, of all the people left on this planet, I don't know who you are. I don't know why you guys are trying to kill me. I don't know why you're blaming me for killing people that were going to kill me. Oh, I can't stand this. You didn't kill the kid, Joel. You didn't kill a kid, so now we have to kill you. No, that's fair. That's fair.
Just get out whatever.
That's fair.
You rehearsed.
Get this over with.
You don't get to rush this.
Bitch, I swear to God, I really won't be able to play this scene. I am so tempted to, when we actually get to this part, to just skip it. Cause it's still the dumbest shit. We ain't even that far, bro. We only 2 minutes in to where we got. Let me stop. Excuse me. I'm dying. I'm dying. It's fine though. So I did watch. I keep saying watch. I did listen to the podcast for the show. I finished the show this past weekend. And I've been listening to the podcast, you know, from where I left off. There is one with Ashley Johnson, and she comes in, she talks about Bella and playing Ellie and the process of her going from Ellie and seeing Ellie go from a game to a show, etc. Right? And I like that she says this here, because she also says this in the show where it's like she feels like her and Ellie are the same person. Like, a lot of the things that Ellie would do, she would do. A lot of who she is in Ellie, and they say that a lot. Neil Druckmann, you know, he does point this out. Like, a lot of the small things about Ellie that make her who she is came from Ashley. Like Ellie is really into space exploration, and that comes from Ashley as a person who's really into space. And so she feels a lot more connected to this character, you know? And I was like, that's really cool. I love when we do have that for the voice actors, for regular actors, for whoever is playing a character, like when they can feel like they are that character. It's amazing, because then it's like It's one thing to me. The hardest thing is making a character that you can then be able to see someone play, because once someone plays that character, they are defining and giving that character a matter. They're giving them mass. They're giving them flesh. You know, they're giving them voice. So whatever imagination you have in your head is now going to be replaced with whoever this person is. And if this person can get as close to what you're imagining, that's great. And then if they can also mesh and feel like they are that character, that's even better, because now you have a real character in the real world, right? Like now Ashley Johnson is Ellie. Like her voice is Ellie, right? Like you cannot unhear it. And so that's really amazing, because it's like you get this weird reality where it's like the character is real but not real, but existing and not existing, you know, and it's just because this person they've connected with this character, you know. Like, and this is where I take the credit away from Druckmann, you know, because here's the thing, here's the reality that we live in when it comes to The Last of Us. Like, for real. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with Joel dying, but I'm saying like clearly people are affected by it, right? And I'm like, this is what's really cool. This is even a criticism. This is just me saying the importance of killing when you kill a character, and why it has to be handled the right way in whatever scene you write it in, right? Because here you have this Laura, you know, affected by this moment. She wasn't in the first game. She wasn't a part of making the first game. But seeing this moment, being a part of this scene, right, it still affected her, which I think is really cool. And it's kind of ironic that it's affecting her as she plays this, as they want to call her, the second protagonist. I'm going to go ahead and call her the villain, you know, because like she said, she's taking this away from Ellie. She's taking this person, right? And I'm like, recognizing what this moment means for everybody in the room, including the side characters, including the players, including the developers, like everybody, right? When you have to take a character out, this isn't some NPC, this isn't someone who's supposed to die because of what they've done, you know, this is supposed to be a death that shouldn't happen, is my whole point, which is why it's like, it's so frustrating that it happens the way it does, because we want to have that feeling of, I don't want this to happen yet. Lee Everett from The Walking Dead Season 1, Telltale's game, is the best character to give this comparison to. Go ahead and play it till the end of Season 1, and tell me you don't shed a tear when Lee dies. Like, you know, and that's a game where you are punished for how violent or fair or moral you are throughout it. And even at the end of it, the choice of the character's death is still out of your hands, but how you get there is completely up to you. And that very much makes that character death one of the strongest deaths in a zombie game, zombie movie, whatever, that I've ever seen. You know, because there are some things that you can't control. You can't control what Lee did before the apocalypse, before he was in that cop car. But you can control how he responds to those situations. You can control how he responds to the apocalypse, how this character expresses your reactions to the things happening. Taking that choice away, and then also making the player feel guilty or blamed or for things that were out of their control is ridiculous. You know, and then to also mislead them up into that is also ridiculous. It's insulting. You know, I think the first time I said disrespectful, but I meant insulting, because it's like, nah, this wasn't expected, because it doesn't make sense to me. Like, Joel was not a bad guy. You know, if he's a bad guy, everybody in this game is a bad guy. So there's no meaning to the theme. I just wanted to point that out, because the scene is significant. The scene is important, and it is always hard to like experience. Even thinking about it, it's like, it doesn't make me like emotional, but it's like, yeah, damn, like this shit is really hard. Like to just see this happen and really know like that's kind of the end of this character, when it's like, I feel like we need more time with him.
When the club comes down and it's just like, she's screaming, I feel like we could just take all their audio out and like music could take over. And again, we're trying to build more rage than sadness. That's going to really set up our journey.
Okay.
But why? I mean, it's like, so you want to elicit this emotion out of me. Okay. So you want to piss me off. Okay. Hey, why make me play her then? You know? I'm so mad.
I'll come back.
You know what? Me and Neil, this is why Neil Druckmann is probably going to be one of the best people I could ever talk to in life. Because it's like, this is the exact reaction he wants to have out of people, you know? He wants to have both of these reactions. Both people that love the game and people that are very frustrated because of the fact that Joel dies and that you have to play as Abby. And I'm like, I get where you're coming from. Because it's a smart play to go for. Because I still want to play the part 2. I just hate experiencing what I experienced. But the way the story is constructed is the whole point, to experience that feeling. You make me frustrated, you know?
So speaking of E3 demos, remember way back when you guys said you were going to block that content and then not touch it?
Hey. We already talked. I already gave my little reaction.
How's that go?
Well, and then we ship just the glossiest, best-looking demo you've ever seen. We burn that to a disc at the beginning of January, and then we don't touch it again, and nobody sees it until E3. Well, I think we knew at the time that we weren't going to not touch it. It's going to be really interesting to see if we can.
Now they're just slamming on them. I love it. You got a script? Hey, I'm gonna edit that shit. Hey, you got a final shoot day? Cool. I'm gonna take all those shots. I'm gonna rearrange them. Tell a different story. Why? Because I'm the fucking editor. I don't give a fuck what the director said. I'm gonna do the assembly my way. I love this editing job. These people are calling them out on their fuck ups. And I don't think it's like to be mean. I think it's honestly just a show too, right? Like, shit happens, you know, things get delayed. Shit happens, you know?
A lot of advances have been made, a lot of new ideas, new mechanics, and we really just need to have the discipline not to do that. Honestly, it feels like we are addicted to being late.
Yep.
Okay,
We're getting melee system.
okay.
Like when he starts. Yeah.
So I'm confident in the demo if we finish it.
That's literally the. I love this guy. I love this. Can we just have him the rest of the interview? He said, brother, that's the only way you can be confident in the demo. If it's not done, how would you be confident in it? Because it won't be done. I'd be confident in anything if it was done. I'd be confident in my food if it was cooked all the way. So, my man, yeah, drink some water. Drink some water.
I'll be frank, it's not looking great.
And that's because you guys keep putting these crazy ass deadlines on things that take so much time to do. Like, I'm looking at this and I'm like, you know what's crazy? I didn't even know this much could happen when it comes to like a demo crashing. Like just like a melee animation crashing it's kind of fucking. That's a lot to like not get frustrated at, you know? So I'm like, respect for that, but recognizing that, hey, maybe set like a 3-year deadline or something, not a 2-year. Because this shit is crazy.
This is totally broken. For next week, let's make sure it's all there so we could actually review it.
Yep.
Oh, this one's pretty cool. Jesus.
Yeah, no one's ever seen when I aim in prone and she actually like rolls up on her back and aims like this. Like it can never clip through geometry.
Like I said, it ain't even that players won't notice this shit, bro. It's just the simple fact that when I'm enraged that Joel is killed and you spend majority of the game playing as the person who killed them, I'm not caring about her being prone on her back. Now mind the fucking you. Now mind the fucking you. We switch to an image of Ellie throat deep in someone's neck right now. And may want to make a theme about revenge and violence. Jesus. Took that first hit. Kill him. Or don't. Nah, don't. Nah, you just took a sledgehammer to the face. Don't kill him. Did I see that right? Bro, she just took a fucking sledgehammer to the face. Now, would anybody else kill him after that? Because clearly violence is never the answer. Even when someone hits you dead ass in the face with a sledgehammer, you just wipe that shit off and keep going.
We've had a few people on the team that have been really passionate about making our games even more accessible for people with different kinds of disabilities and making sure as many people as possible can experience our games.
Nice. This is where all the accessibility is.
Something that like really touches a lot of people. As we get older, pretty much all of us are going to have probably some sort of accessibility need.
It's important to welcome people with disabilities into all of our public spaces, into our shared culture, and that video games are a rich part of that.
I like how we talk about people that are handicapped as if they're some type of alien or something. Like, we got to make sure they feel welcomed, you know. We don't want to scare them off, you know. They're not from here. We gotta treat them with like they're one of us. Like, bro, relax. You know, just yeah, we want to make sure everybody can play the game, like, you know, irregardless of their condition. You know, to help pretty much everybody with any type of disability, from being blind. I don't know how I would love to see a blind gamer, like, no cap. I would love to, because I would love to see what technology they use.
Brandon Cole, he said, I heard you announce this game. What do you think about the possibility of someone like myself being able to play it? And Brandon is blind. I hadn't really...
No fucking shot, dude. I swear to God, I did not plan this. I did not see any of this documentary before now. I promise you. This universe is my creation, bro. This universe is my creation. Whatever I think, it comes into being in some way, shape, or form. Now, what do I do with this power? I don't know. I can't make money up here, apparently, so it's kind of useless in this society. But amazing things like this could happen. Amazing things like this could happen. We can make a blind gamer appear. Okay. Now, this motherfucker is blind, bro. I can't believe this shit. Fuck yeah. Shout out to this blind guy. Shout out to this blind dude, man.
Of someone like myself being able to play it, and Brandon is blind. I hadn't really thought about that before. I don't even know if that's even possible, but I want to try because that sounds interesting.
We had this feature that let you navigate.
It's not enough for me to take back everything I said. Now, if this doesn't prove that I don't know what I'm talking about, because if they can agree with me here, in this literal 1 in a million moment, in this literal 1 in a million, then we have to see that everything I've said before now, and even in the first half of this fucking rant, that I'm right.
Gate along the Golden Path. And we also had this other feature. You could like put out this sonar pulse and you'd hear where all the items and enemies were located.
This motherfucker is literally a bat. They put an echolocation in the game. I never even knew this was... Like, I didn't even know this was a thing. I didn't even realize it was a choice. I had no fucking clue, dude. Should I play part 2 blind? Like, I will do that entire stream blindfolded. Oh my God. Oh my God. I can do it blindfolded. To be able to get the actual input from a blind person means this game is going to have everything you need to play with your eyes fucking closed. Now, my real question, though, is how does he aim? How does he aim? There has to be like a vibration mechanic where it vibrates on the enemy or something like that. But I feel like, again, he just said he doesn't want like no golden way. So there has to be a mechanic to where it vibrates more intensely on an enemy versus like on an object or something. Man, there's so many concepts that you're going to have to like, oh I might actually do this blind. I might actually play this game blind. Oh my god. It's gonna be so... I don't... I'm gonna just take my eyes out for real.
But this really was like a bottom-up kind of initiative.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that early success really helped to build momentum for the rest of the project.
I was gonna say miss.
In the highest level of how Naughty Dog is perceived as a company, it's that we're story first and mechanics second.
We had a number of sessions where the animation team, design team, and programmers all got together and we acted out a number of scenarios. And what that does is it gives us really great reference and touch points that we can always look back to about the way that we naturally behave, the way we naturally respond to each other. And those are the types of details that we want to weave back into the game.
Someone took out Zoe! Who the fuck's out there? Sweep the whole goddamn street.
Our NPCs are named so that you understand these people have relationships.
We don't care.
On you, it's this little...
Then don't call them NPCs. We don't care that they're they're NPCs, bro. We don't. We should not care about the NPCs.
Omar! Blanker!
I don't fucking care about Omar. I'm about to kill Omar. I don't give a fuck.
I just killed their friend and they want to kill me now.
They were already gonna kill you, though. They were already.
There's a cost. You killed that person. His friend now feels a loss.
I'm so irritated. How are we back here? How are we fucking back here? I don't get it. I don't get it. How are they this stupid? You're telling me that, okay, I kill Omar, so now Omar's friend is gonna come kill me. Okay, so let's run that back. Let's say I just go walk up to Omar. You're telling me Omar's not gonna shoot me? What do I do? Answer that question. What are you supposed to do then?
You know, his dog is now alone.
I actually hate every bit of this fucking response. It's the stupidest thing I've ever... Like... None of this actually makes sense. What are you supposed to do? Make friends? If there's a make friends option, does that save Joel? I'm so confused at this thought process.
So we killed it, and then you have to love it knowing that it's already dead. So there's gonna probably be people that are upset about that.
Hey, Al. You want to go to the trucks?
I mean, well, yeah, because you make people kill the dog and then you make them relive loving the dog. Like, it's almost like you play with people's emotions the wrong way. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. They say these things and then it's like they don't understand why people are upset. It's like because you literally did it the wrong way. I don't know.
With the notable exception of Alice, we took great pains to ensure that every combat encounter that you fight against a dog, you do not have to kill any of them.
But does it matter?
It's more palatable to kill people because they're all there because they choose to be there, but all of these dogs were trained to do this exact thing, and so you're killing an innocent creature.
Fuck's that? Fuck!
Or you get caught, you know? Like, what's the alternative?
Got you.
That feeling of discomfort.
So let's say she doesn't shoot the dog here. Are you telling me the dog's not gonna alert anybody? Are you telling me the dog's not gonna bark or attack her? Or are you telling me the dog's just gonna sit there? Like, for real? Get the fuck out of here, man.
Exactly what we're trying to explore with The Last of Us.
Like the fuck, I'm killing every dog I see in The Last of Us Part 2 now. Like, out of spite.
Ironically, making them more realistic makes people feel more okay about killing them. We had like kind of a goofy art prototype. We had like just a very rough dog. We found that goofy dog that had no fur. People felt really bad about killing that dog. Like when you would shoot them, they would fall over dead and like give one last
You're playing with the wrong gamers, man. That was funny.
whine as their like dying breath and stuff. So we just really tried to like tone down the pitiability of all the dogs and stuff.
I would hope so. Again, like I mean, this is a game in the post-apocalypse. Like pitying everybody is just so damn boring. This is the part I love these. I wish this was the whole doc. I just wish it was just this clip of this dude. The making of Last of Us Part 2. Title. And then that's it. I love this guy. Can we just work with him all day? Like, he's killing it, man. He's a monster. He's a zombie.
Was unlike anything I've ever heard before.
That's the moneymaker right there. This dude's mouth is amazing. Pause. Oh my God. Give him a nominee. Give him an award, bro. Please. These are the people that don't get the awards that very much deserve them. Like, this is amazing. This is gold.
Sound is, we're inherently post-production on a lot of this stuff. It gets really intense for everybody, but for audio in particular, we'll be here late.
It's pretty unanimous that this game is really big, where it's bigger than we'd like it to be.
Hey, I said it's flashbacks on flashbacks, and that's a problem. I said 30% is a lot. When it's big, it's 30% bigger than the first game? Why? Why? Oh, because you're trying to make me empathize with the villain? Why? Oh, because you're trying to say that killing in a zombie game is bad? Why? Oh, because there's an NPC named Omar? Hey, maybe we're putting too much into this. Just a thought. Just a thought. Hey, it's 2019. Just a thought.
The Last of Us Part 1 is small compared to this game. My argument, make the game small again. I don't even call them small.
There were
Now everybody's ready to speak up when it's over. The problem with this game is that it's too big. It wants to be way too much story in one game. I think The Last of Us would have been better as a 3-part game. And we got this game instead, and it's just too much. Put all of Abby's shit into the 3rd game. Or something. You know, make this one all about Ellie growing up without Joel, or getting ready to live without Joel. And I would have been all for a part 3 that's about revenge and the consequences of that. Like, that to me, because then it's like, that's crazy. Because then we would have spent so much time with Ellie where it's like, I'm actually conflicted. You know? But hey, you're here, you made it. You're at the end now, so. The following interviews were recorded in 2023, looking back at the push to get the game out. Nice. All right. So now this would be cool because now we're going to get like their input based on 3 years in, you know, because the game came out in 2020. So now they've had some time to think. They've seen people react, you know, so I wonder what they're going to say.
They all had to coordinate in a very short period of time to get us working from home. We don't even know when the game can come out, and we don't even know when it will come out. It's delayed indefinitely. So a lot of our most hardcore fans are angry with us.
Yo, I totally forgot about Iron Man VR. That's hilarious. Yo, you can just keep Iron Man VR on the shelf. We don't, I don't even know why you would even mention that in this post. Like, have some self-respect, Sony. Fucking retarded. There's no shot.
This person in the Netherlands downloaded terabytes of videos through a back door in the server. And then this is where we made a fatal error. Let's close this back door. And then this person put out everything. a video goes up on YouTube. And I don't remember what the first video was, but it was something relatively benign.
But they weren't like super important scenes. You know, they were like little clips, and it was like, okay, that's a little weird. What is that?
All out of order and stuff. And I was like, oh, that's bad.
Spoilers.
And you kind of wanted to just.
If this has to have been an inside job, I'm calling conspiracy. Easy on this one. They did mislead people to believe this was a game about something that it wasn't. That Abby was someone that she wasn't.
YouTubers
You reap what you sow.
watched for years, and they're making entire videos, and the title is like, fuck Naughty Dog.
And no positivity because no one has played the game. They just have these videos out of context and all these rumors mixed with them. Abby is playable.
They thought Abby was trans because she has muscles.
Here's the ending if they kill Ellie.
And then it just turned into this whole political thing. Oh, Naughty Dog's they're doing this political shit.
Jesus.
And then I get this text from Evan. They just posted Joel's death. And my heart sinks. I can't even describe this feeling. It's just this like dread. It's almost like you just heard someone you care about died. I don't know. That's the closest I could come to.
He said, "Do you think we did the right thing?" And I said, "I don't know, Neil. I haven't played the game yet." I was livid. I was real angry.
So this one's a little mean, right? This top part of this one is really mean, but I think this part's important. This is the part that I was like, this is where I think you messed up, where people get mad, because it says right here, you should be ashamed to take such shit out of the game and lie to people that way through the press. What a shit of badly written history. You know, like that's the reality that you're going to leave people with, is being misled because you made this game to be something that it's completely not. And so Joel's death is completely blindsiding.
Every time I went online, it was just, that's all I saw was death threats and threats of violence. And
Jesus.
the worst of it, the really like hardcore death threats got passed along, and they
How did
made
they?
sure that they weren't anyone that like lived close by.
You know, and then to make matters worse, you guys made a game that punishes the player for revenge and violence. I'm sorry they got death threats and everything. That sounds terrifying, you know. So that part sucks.
Yeah, they were like threatening my son, you know, who was born during all of it, and
Well,
it was
why?
rough.
That's crazy.
It was rough.
That's where people are taking it way too far. Like, where it's like, bro, I'm just mad that you killed Joel. I'm not mad that, like, you know, like, people being that angry need to get help. Like, that, and that's the thing. I think COVID, quarantine times, people were really out of their fucking minds. Like, it was ridiculous. If I was her, I would have actually got beefed up after I had the kid, you know, and then be like, come at me, bitch, with holding the club and everything, with like a fake dead body in the background, pretending like it's Joel. Like, bro, like I would, but I guess she couldn't because it'd be unprofessional. But, you know, still, like, it sucks that these are the things that these people are having to go through just for playing these roles. Like, they are just actors. Right, like it wouldn't be fair to do this to anybody, right? Violence in reality is never the answer.
And that was the lowest point in my life.
Man.
I'm working on the game towards the end at home by myself, feeling very alone. And I said, who am I doing this for?
To forget what you're playing, what you're making this game for is ridiculous. Like, you got to remember what you're out to do. Like, what this person released are yeah, maybe some spoilers, maybe some major moments, but you still have a game to deliver for the player to experience. Like, you are still here to deliver the experience of the player. The leak cannot take that away from you, you know? Like to me, it shouldn't matter to have a spoiler, because I should still be able to go into something and experience it irregardless of if I know something's going to happen. I should still be able to enjoy the experience getting to that moment, you know? So I'm like, if you lose sight of that due to all of this, then that's when you're like, I think you need a better support system in your studio.
We were able to finish it, and, you know, we sent it to reviewers, and reviews are through the roof.
There's not a single aspect of the game, part 2, that I would change. And anytime someone comes up to me and says, you know, didn't really like what they did to Joel. I was like, great, awesome. Tell me a better version of the story. And to this day, they still can't.
I can tell you a better version. Ellie grows up in the same aspects as she does, but maybe this time she wants to go and find a way to make a cure for herself. She runs off with Dina. Is that her name? I don't know. Diana, the other chick. Joe goes after her. They go on this wild adventure across not just the country, but like they go across the globe to Asia. See all types of weird infected. Joel follows her. You're Joel following her, and you play as Ellie, going a little bit ahead. Meanwhile, you do flashbacks showing the time that he's been growing up with Ellie, teaching her how to grow into this young adult, that she's become this fierce young warrior. All of it. By the time for Joel to catch up, he gets bit trying to catch up to her. And she goes on this amazing solo journey. Meanwhile, Joel goes on his own journey of letting her go. That he can't keep chasing after this aspect of a daughter. That he's already achieved it, but now it's time to let her go and be her own person. You know, they have a moment. He dies. Ellie continues onward. You end part 2. I don't know. I'm not saying it's amazing, but I'm like, I don't know. It makes me feel like Joel's story is more complete than that. So, touche, Troy Baker. Like I said, I think his death is justified. I think or not even justified. That's the wrong word. I think it's fair to happen. I think I want it to happen. I would have wanted it to happen, just not the way it did. You know, just not in the structure that it did. I didn't enjoy the game structure, you know, because I was so discombobulated by his death that I was not able to enjoy these aspects that they wanted people to enjoy. And I think that's a huge problem. Especially because if you just change the structure, then I think people would be able to appreciate more of the game.
The pandemic kind of brought up that question of like health and mental health. Are we developers that are going to stay at the studio and have full careers? How do we make this sustainable?
I chuckle in retrospect just how absurd the failure of trying to alleviate crunch was. If you have great processes and you're super organized, that doesn't fix crunch. What that does is it allows you to make a bigger game.
We now have the goal for Naughty Dog to eliminate crunch.
The only thing that fixes crunch, the only thing, is just deciding that you're not going to crunch.
You know, every couple of months we send out a 90-second questionnaire that goes, are you worried about your workload? Are you worried about having to work overtime? If you feel like I'm overburdened with work, you have to tell somebody.
That's a good start.
Holding us accountable when we make a decision, when it's just everyone going, yes, more, yes, better, yes, polish, tallying that up and going, okay, well, this is the result. Now you're not in your ship date anymore.
It feels so much like a different studio.
I hope that we can keep changing for the better and make sure that we're making the games that we want to make, that we're really passionate about, that we don't stop doing that.
We want self-driven, healthy designers.
Yes,
we want to have it all. We want to have it both. And can we do that? That'll be the question, I guess.
You just got to find them. And, you know, I enjoyed it. I really did. I think that we don't have to disagree, but what we can agree is that we all have fun playing The Last of Us, and that's good enough. I think that's a good enough point to leave it on, right? Like, at the end of the day, we may have our opinions about how Joel dies or the structure of the narrative. Even let's dismantle all that. Ellie's story, if we look at it objectively, all right, it's a pretty good story. Abby's story, if we look at it objectively, it's a pretty good story. Joel's story from The Last of Us Part 1 to Part 2, it's a pretty good story, right? If we can all enjoy the parts that are in it, then cool. A blind person can play this game. That's amazing. That's how I'll leave it. And you know what? Hey, this documentary, did it change my mind? No, it didn't change my mind, but I think I've grown more grounded in my opinion. And I think we can all appreciate that. So, thank you. Goodbye. I'm going to have to play Part 2.